Today, yes, we got the notice that this session is recorded, and today we are together with almost 2 hours. So we will talk about the strategic use of patents and including the strategic use of patent information. So it is quite different topics, but it is combined, and it should be used together to understand and to act in the competitive environment in your industry or business field. So I saw that we are now 15 people in the audience. I think we can slowly start because we need to use our time very effectively. So before going into the topic today, let me introduce myself. Maybe some of you are already know that I'm very active on LinkedIn to share patent-related information because it will allow knowledge sharing. Basically, I'm an industrial engineer by education, but my expertise more than 14 years in the patent intelligence, patent valuation, and patent commercialization. So I just focused on these 3 main topics because this is another niche in the patent industry. So I'm not managing the patent filing or patent application as my IP colleagues did, but I created another roadmap in my career into focusing on these 3 topics. So I'm married, I have 2 cats, and living in Berlin, and moved from Istanbul 1.5 years ago. But of course, I'm going back, go forward and back to Istanbul, to Turkey, and come back to Germany. So today, of course, we are talking about the strategic use of patents, but so far I managed to give so many workshops and trainings in the patent ecosystem, including European Patent Office, a worldwide IP organization in Switzerland on different topics, different territories, but mostly in the last 3 and 4 years, I'm focusing on the future of IP-backed financing, including the patent valuation. So you know that patents are very important assets, like your home, like your car, like your jacket, but it is very valuable. But we will talk about the valuation aspect of your patents, if it is valuable or not. So this is really exciting topic. So far, as you may notice, that I worked in the technology transfer business for the patent commercialization. So this is really important topic to bring this research to the market, right? Mostly from the university academics. So I managed so far more than 22 patent commercialization contracts, agreements, but within this commercialization success stories, one is so successful, which took 7 years to commercialize one single patent, which is in the medical field for healing the open wounds in the human body. So it took 7 years to commercialize this patent, and within this success story, the European Patent Office has selected us as one of the best successful patent commercialization story in Europe. So it brings me some recognition in the world. So in the last 2 years, I was recognized as one of the leading IP strategists in the world, selected by Intellectual Asset Magazine every year. So it is really good to share that it's coming from experienced and some of the accomplishments in the past years. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't be afraid about the patents, because I will try as simply as possible today to make it a very simple case. You know that as we are the patent attorneys. Of course, I'm an engineer, but I'm a Turkish patent attorney, not in Europe, because I'm not doing the patent filing business. My colleagues are trying to explain these patents in a legal format mostly, but I will combine this patent terminology with some exciting intelligence alignments. So, but before going into the deep dive, we should talk about why we are talking the rise of the IP rights, the why we are talking about the rise of the patents in the world, because the patents are legal instruments to protect your invention and exclude the others to use your invention or to produce your invention without your written permission. So it means that the patents are really essential legal documents, but including the important competitive information. The patents are included in the intangible assets. You know that we are dividing the assets into the two main groups. One is the tangible assets, like the table, like telephone, apartment, car, CNC machines, all are these tangible assets. But of course, we have another side, intangible assets, including, know-how, patented technologies, trade secret, trademarks, the copyrights, all are intangible assets, which are creating extra value for your company, for your institution. So if we are looking back to the last 30 years, so including the most valuable companies, if you look at their all assets, their intangible assets, the portion of the intangible assets in their full portfolio is increasing in the last 5 years. So we can say that the 500 most valuable companies are holding more than 90% of their assets as an intangible assets. So it means that the patented technologies, their know-how, their trade secrets are creating more value than their CNC machines, than their, the other equipments which are countable as a tangible assets. So it brings us to look at the global environment to understand what is this patent ecosystem in the world. What are the numbers? Why we are talking about the rise of IP rights, the rise of the patents? Because in the global ecosystem, the patent application numbers are increasing every year. Now we are breaking the record, which is every year 3.5 million patent applications are filed in the worldwide. Also 15 million trademarks are filed in the worldwide. So it says that people, companies, institutions, startups are always inventing new technologies, and they are trying to protect their technologies by a patent application, and they want to create a value in their business, right? But of course, the patents are not, it's not equal to exact business value. So I will tell it a little more detailed. So of course, we need to look at the global environment as a country base. It is obvious that the China, the Korea, the Japan are holding so many patent applications from their countries. But if you look at the 3.5 million patents applied in 1 year, the more than 60% of these patent filings are coming from the Asian countries. So the Asian countries are dominating, we can say they're dominating the patent ecosystem. So 1.6 million patent applications to China is, it's too much. It's too much. And the US is coming in the second position, and then Japan, and then Korea, and then European Patent Office. And also we see that Germany in the list, in the top 10. So it means that these countries are really important territories, are really important markets in terms of the people, the companies are trying to protect their inventions in that countries. So the numbers are showing that. Of course, we are talking about the rise of the patents in the world in an artificial intelligence era. So the patent applications are increasing every year. For example, AI patents in the automotive industry, artificial intelligence patents in the healthcare industry. It's now we are seeing the boom, the peak points in different technology fields or subdomains. And the global environment is also saying that we can say that one patent equals more than $7 million. So that's the reason that we are talking about the rise of the patents in the world. So just imagine that you are inventing one technology, you have only one patent application to protect it, and it worth more than $7 million. So this patent is developed by an Israeli startup called Mobly, and the patent is purchased by Snapchat 5 years ago for more than $7 million. So it says lots of things about the value of the patents in the market. And of course, some statistics, some results, research results are also say that for the startups holding at least one patent application are having more chance to be invested by the venture capital companies. So only one patent application is creating more chance to achieving backed by a VC or angel investor. So it is really important for also startups to increase their own company valuation by holding at least one patent application or one granted patent application. But of course, it's not limited with the startups. So we can talk about the big giant companies, right? Huawei, Apple, Samsung. Today is announced that Nokia has announced the patent licensing agreement with Oppo, Chinese smartphone companies. But the example in the screen, Huawei, the Chinese company, has a very, very powerful patent portfolio. And Huawei is very powerful in terms of 5G technologies and in terms of the number of the patents in the field of 5G technologies. And now Huawei is asking $2.5 per telephone, per smartphone, to use its 5G patents. To whom? To Apple, to Samsung, to Oppo, to other smartphone manufacturers, because these smartphone manufacturers are it's essential for them to use these 5G technologies, which are protected by lots of patent application by Huawei. So Huawei is very confident about asking $2.5 as a royalty rate for using its own 5G related patents. So we can say that Huawei is expecting $1.5 billion just for the patent licensing, not selling their products, not selling their services, just asking royalty rates from the companies for their existing patents in the portfolio. So it shows that having their intangible assets like very strong patents can also helpful for the companies to create very meaningful revenues in the market, right? Maybe you heard from the news at the end of the 2023, Apple was abandoned to sell its latest version of Apple Watch because of infringing only 2 patents owned by Massimo, which is also a US-based company. And it is related about oxygen sensing, oxygen sensor in the blood. And Massimo, who is owning these 2 critical patents, says that Apple infringing our patents, and then applied to the litigation in the court. And then the decision was, they said that, hey, Apple, you are not allowed to sell this smart watch because you are infringing 2 patents held by Massimo. So it is really important for a very big company. Can you imagine that how can be dangerous for Apple not being able to sell their smartwatch, right? Apple Watch, they can lose millions of dollars in only one day or in a week. So it is really important not infringing, the others, the patents. So this case is showing us the importance of infringement case. So we are talking about, the fight, the patents war between very famous companies. For example, Tesla and BYD from China, right? Tesla is having very good market share in United States, even in Europe. BYD is also expanding its market share. But look at the patent portfolios. Tesla has more than 700, but BYD company is also having too many patents, but much more than Tesla, 27,000 patents in their portfolio. So it shows that fighting of the market sharing, okay, we understand that, but of course, the fighting between the power of their patent portfolio is also create another perspective in different industries, in different ecosystems. And now I would like to say some provocative sentences. I am also curious about to hear your voice, hear your opinion about this statement. I say that although I am doing a patent valuation business, I say that the patents have no financial value. Are you agree with me on that statement? I said that the patents have no financial value. What do you think about that? Is there anyone in our audience now and the participants who wants to against to me or who can share the same feeling, the same statements? Or you can say that, no, you're wrong. Patents have so many the values, including the financial value. I want to hear that. Is there anyone from the audience who wants to contribute or against to me or agree with me? I say that patents have no financial value. What do you think about that? Urte says that it has a value for investors. Urte is against to me for now.
I would actually second Urte's opinion with regards to making a product potentially defensible, and therefore creating a competitor's advantage, or this, which would help to answer this question. Maybe that's also what you had in mind, but this question of how is this defensible versus competitors, or so that's my angle. So maybe that's what Urte also had in mind. I don't know.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, that's true. And also, Urte is raising her hand. Yes, Urte.
Hi, everybody. Just can I explain a little bit? What my experience is that investors look for startups who have already a patent. And they say it's more trustful to invest their money. So, and with coming along with that, so the patent has a value, and also securing your investment for your startup. So even if maybe the market value is zero at that time.
That's a good point. You said that maybe the market value of the patent can be zero. I don't know. At that point. So Markus Müller said that it depends, of course, on an actual patent. That's true. We should look at the actual the patent that we are talking about to understand if it has a value or not. So Rafa has said that it has to have value. Otherwise, why we are talking about this issue. So Leah is sorry, Urte, I didn't see your hand. I am dealing it. Okay. So I said that patents have no financial value, but until we have to close this statement with one condition: until you take action. Otherwise, yes, the patents have no value, but you have to take actions. What does it mean? What I mean about the actions, taking the actions? What does it mean? We will go into that. So because the actions can be different in the market to create a value from your patent. Otherwise, you are not able to use your patents as a strategically. That's why we need a strategic use of patents. We have to know that how can we use this strategic position of a single patent or a group of patents. So I want to make an analogy with the energy. So you know that the patent, the meaning of potential energy, right? The potential energy of a kind of something which is standing on the table has a potential energy, right? Or imagine that the guy is holding the arrow but not giving back to the target, right? It's a potential energy. It's holding the energy now, but it's not creating any value for now. But if you're talking about the kinetic energy, it means that there is an action here. There is a movement on the environment, right? So just imagine the same guy holding the arrow but leaving the arrow. So now energy is on the move, and the arrow is going to the target, right? So, but we don't know this kinetic energy will be successful on the target dashboard, right? Sometimes can be unsuccessful, sometimes can be successful. In that manner, we can create an imagination. The potential energy can accrue to the potential value of your patent, right? You have some patents, but you are not doing anything. You have 1 patent, you have 10 patents, but if you are not taking any actions, it's the potential value of your patent, right? It can be happen in the future if you take action, but for now, no value. There is only potential value if you are not taking actions. But just imagine that as a kinetic energy, it means that there is an action here, and it means that it's an actual value of your patent if you are using it, if you are taking actions. So we can say that the patents are really strategic investment decisions that you can make in your innovation roadmap, innovation journey in your market. These are not, patents are not expenses, patents are not costs until you take the actions. So we can categorize the patent holding as a kind of strategic investment decisions. If you're a startup, if you're a university, if you're a corporate, if you're an SME, it is the same. It's all investment decision. But there are some ways, there are some roads that you can convert your potential value of your patent into the actual value. So it is quite similar that converting the potential energy to the kinetic energy, right? Otherwise, the patents are not, the patents have no value. So we have to convert the potential value into the actual value. So, but we can also categorize this potential value and the actual value of the patents into the different aspects. So what I mean? So you know that the technologies are which are protected by the patent applications need to be successful in the market, right? If you are trying to commercialize this technology, if you are selling this patent, or if you are trying to create a collaboration with other entities, all requires a product market fit in the market, right? So you have to understand the market need. So as a potential value, the meaning of the market need is to understand what people might want or need in the future. So you have a patented technology, but you are not using this technology as a product in the market that people might want or need to use for now. If you're not using it for now, this patent has a potential value in the market if you will take an action. Because if you take an action in the market to commercialize this patented technology, it will become an actual value in the market because people will start to use it in the market to solve their problem, right? And also the making money. For now, you have a patent or more than one patent, but you are not earning any money. You are not selling your product. You are not giving a license. You are not selling your patent. So it means that having a patent without any action in the market in terms of making money, so it means that you have a potential value of your patent. So these are the same for the other aspects. So there is a huge gap between the potential value and the actual value. So these actions, these 10 actions that can be useful to convert the potential value to the actual value. What are they? So these are the actions that you need to take for your patents to create the value. So the first one, what I said, if you have a patent to protect your invention, it gives an exclusivity for you to exclude the others, use or produce your technology. So this exclusivity is the first defensive value of your patent in your market, in your competitive environment. So, but this exclusivity brings the enforcement power. If you have a patent, it means that you have a right to enforce your legal rights coming from your patent in the market, right? Imagine that you have a patented technology. Imagine that you have a face recognition algorithm, which is protected by your patent application. And you detected a kind of company in your market is trying to use the similar technology in their product. So the defensive value of your patent is starting from that point. And if you can able to detect this company, which is using the similar technology in your patent, first you need to identify. And then after identifying this infringer potential company, you have to use your enforcement right. So you have to knock the door. This is the action. So for example, imagine that you discovered that a company is infringing your patent, is copying your technology without your permission. You detect it. If you don't take any actions, how you can use your patent right? How can I take the action in the market? So imagine that you discovered a company infringing, copying your patented technology. What is the first approach that you can take as an action? I'm asking to you. What is your preferred action to use your patent rights? You are holding a kind of 1 or 2 patents in terms of in the technology of face recognition algorithm, and then you discovered that one company is copying your technology. Oh my God, how can it be possible? I have a patent. You cannot do that. It cost to me a lot to have this patent. And now I see that in the market, a company is trying to copy me without my permission. How can it be possible? Just imagine that you detect an infringer company in the market. And the question is, how can you approach? What will you do? Upul says that send a notice to the copying company. And Gülhan says that, yes, sending a notice and the license proposal. Okay, that's good. So you mean that the first option is after detecting the copying company is the action is the knock the door, right? Let them know directly. One could propose licenses, Leolat said. That's true. That's true. The first option, use your enforcement power. Knock the door and says that, hey, I have the patent. And then I see that from your product, from your technology is the same, which is written in my patent document. And you can say that 2 options. One is you can say, I can use my enforcement right in the court by having a litigation case against you to stop for your production in the market. And then as a second step, I can say that as a patent owner, you can continue to sell this technology, which is the same in my patent document, and I can propose you a license. You can pay me 2% royalty per year from your revenue, and then you can use my patent. It's fine. And then it means that I can create another revenue. But if it is the kind of very important competitor, maybe you don't want to give this permission to use your patented technology, and then you want to exclude this competitor in the market to have more power in the market, and then you can say that, please stop. And what will be happen? You know, we are now using our actions. We are in the action. So we are using our enforcement. We knocked the door. We said that, please stop. You are infringing my patent. If the company doesn't stop, you can use your right to sue them. You know, you can have a litigation case in the court. Say that to the court, this is my patent. This is the written features in my patent claims, and this is the product which is commercialized by this competitor, and they are infringing my patent. And then you can ask your right to the court to give some compensations. Okay, but another second option that you can propose a license, right, to create a monetization value from your patent. So you can earn some revenue, some money by giving the using right of your patent. So it means that licensing. So the licensing is giving the use of rights of your patent while you are still owning the patent. So you are keeping the ownership of the patent, but you are giving the right. It's very similar to renting your apartment. The owner of the apartment is you, but you are giving a permission a tenant to use your apartment for a limited time for in exchange of money, right? So, but before licensing, as an action, we can say that you can commercialize your patented technology by converting into a product in the market. So you can produce it, you can sell it, you can earn your own money by commercializing by your own, right? Entrepreneurs doing that. The companies are doing that. The startups are commercialize their technology in your product, in their product, in the market. So one is creating a kind of monetization value by using your technology, your patented technology in the product, and sell this product and earn the money. As a second option, as in our case, the licensing, it's obvious, we already told that. And the third monetization value as an action is selling your patent. You know, you can transfer, you can assign your patents to another entity. So it's also very common because maybe you didn't hear that, but imagine the Spotify, imagine Uber. These are, you know, unicorn companies. But before becoming the unicorn, these companies have very good patent portfolios. Spotify, Uber, maybe you didn't think that, but they have lots of patents in their portfolio. And these companies, these startups, buy some patents from IBM, from AT&T, from different companies, Panasonic, so on, to secure their competitive advantage in this mobility and music sector. So it means that the companies can create another value, another monetization value by selling their patents to another entity. But it is not enough. So defensive value and the monetization value is not enough. We can create another value segmentation. We call it as a strategic value, you know, including the collateral, including attracting the partners, including the marketing boost, or raising the capital. These four aspects are named as a strategic value if you are holding a strong patent. What is the collateral? So you have a patent in your portfolio. And as a startup, you are knock the door of a bank to ask them a credit or loan. And the bank can ask you, show me some of your patents, and then I can say, I can count as a collateral of your patent to give this credit. So it is like, giving your apartments as a collateral in your credit process in the bank. So the patents can be used as a collateral in the bank before the credit. That's really important for the European startups, European SMEs, showing them their patents as a collateral. So this is also strategic value for you. And the another one is attracting the partners, attracting the other entities to partner, to collaborate, to commercialize your technology, or you can collaborate with the universities by showing them your successful research, which are included in the patent documents. And it means that you can show your technical competence to the other companies or other entities to foster them, to convince them to go collaborate with you. Because having your strong patents, it means that you are very experienced in that technical field. You have a powerful situation, powerful environment in terms of R&D and innovation, because your patents are showing that this competency, and attracting partners is very possible by showing your patents. But of course, attracting the partners is not enough. You can use your patents in the market, for a marketing issue, for a PR power. So you can say that, hey, my competitors, look at my patent portfolio. I have 10 patents, I have 100 patents in these fields. So it will show your power to have a very good innovation power in that field, and then you can use it as a marketing material to attract the people, to show yourself, to show your company as strong as possible in the market, maybe threaten your competitors, maybe asking some grants for the government. There are lots of side effects of your patent. So it's a kind of marketing boost. Imagine that you have some patents in the field of artificial intelligence, let's say, and then you are about to apply a grant from the government, from the European Commission. And then if you show your competency by showing them your patents, it means that, for the grant authority, it will look at your patents and then understand that you have the real technical competency in that field. So it will increase, having your patent will increase the chance of getting this grant from the government or from the European Commission or from any grant programs. But it's not enough. As a 10th point, the raising capital is the another important action, important strategic value of your patent. So if your startup holding 1 or 2 patents or more than 2 patents, the investors will be most likely approach you, or most likely willing to invest in your company, because the investors see your startup by holding very critical patents. It means that the investors will see you will create a competitive advantage in the market. So your competitors will be very late to enter this market because you have some patents to exclude them being in that market. So the investors will love that because you will commercialize your technology, including your patent, protecting this product, and the investors will know that you will be market leader if your patent is so strong. So all these aspects are the question of how strong is your patent, right? So, but we can say that you have a defensive value, you have monetization value, you have strategic value by holding patent or by holding patents, but you need actions to create this value. So to take these actions to create value from your patents, you need some powers. You need some powers to make smart decisions in the market. So strategic use of patents, it requires some powers. But these powers are not limited to your patent power. It's not limited with your licensing strategy. It's starting from the basic thing, how your invention is creating a value in the market. So the first three power indicating the market potential. So I love this 10x better terminology, which we are also using in the patentive team, because we believe that our tool is 10 times better than the existing. So we believe the power of 10 times better, being 10 times better in the market. But it's that kind of analogy. So you don't need to be 10 times better in the market. Maybe if you're working in the battery technology or battery industry, so 2% of improvement will be also very beneficial in the market. So 10 times better invention is the first essential power. The second one is you need customer segmentation to understand your business model, to understand your market, to protect your patents, right? Customer segmentation is really critical. The third power is the invention market fit, similar to product market fit in our startup ecosystem. So you have an invention protected by a patent application, but if it is not creating an invention market fit in the market, it has no value. Again, the same, right? But the yellow parts are related to your market power. But of course, to ensure your market power, you need strong patents. So in order to create strong patents, you have the power of patent intelligence. I will give these examples in the upcoming slides by showing the strategic use of patent information, right? There are millions of published patent documents in the world within the databases, and we need to get an advantage by reading them, by extracting very good, very critical intelligence information from this patent. I will back this segment in a later. Fifth one, you need a strong patent strategy. What does it mean, patent strategy? Patent application strategy, patent protection strategy. You know that, maybe you remember, the patents are only valid in the country that you applied. If you only made a patent application for Germany, it means that your patent is only protected in Germany. So you cannot enforce your patent rights in Greece, in Slovenia, if you didn't apply in that countries. So that's why you need to create a very good patent application strategy according to the customer segmentation that you defined earlier. You already define your customer segment. You have already defined your markets, the countries to be entered to commercialize your product. So if you didn't complete these stages, you cannot decide your patent strategy, because your patent strategy requires a market information from you in terms of which countries are really important to protect this technology by a patent. So in order to answer this question, you have to define your target countries. Is it Germany only? Or is it the whole European countries? The United States? How about Russia? How about Turkey? How about India? How about Japan? Is that these countries are also your target market in your growth strategy. So you have to define that. So if you don't know the target markets for now, maybe you can say that, okay, we started our business, we started to commercialize our technology in Germany, but in the upcoming 3 years, we don't know, or maybe we can enter the United States, maybe we can sell our products in Japan or in China or in other Asian countries. We don't know. So it means that for your patent strategy, you can start with different international or regional patent applications. What are they? Maybe you can prefer European patent applications by filing your patent to the European Patent Office. Or you may prefer to apply international patent application, PCT. So it will give you 30 months to select the countries to protect your invention. So it gives you an average 3 years to select some countries to protect your invention. So this patent strategy is really, really important, but it is dependent on your customer segmentation, on your business plan, or your market prioritization. So all are, dependent each to each. And the sixth power is the patent power itself. So the patent document is, consists so many technical information about your invention. So you are giving technical information in the patent application document, indicating your innovative features, benefits of the innovative features to the customer segmentation, and in the legal part, we call it as a patent claims. You have to work with the patent attorneys to write these patent claims in a powerful way, because maybe you are proud to have a patent, but sometimes, or not sometimes, most of the times, the patents are not strong enough to exclude the others, because your patent may be written in a wrong way. What does it mean? Maybe you have a patent, but maybe your competitors can use exactly the same technology as you defined in the patent without infringing you. What does it mean? It's a kind of design around. So you are proud that you have a patent, but you wrote it very wrong way, in a wrong way. It means that your competitors can use your technology without infringing you, because you gave some spaces in your patent document. That's why it requires kind of expertise. That's why we are always suggesting the companies, the startups, work with experienced patent attorneys, because the language, the terminology is completely different than you can imagine. The seventh one, the inventor power. What we are saying that to the startup teams, we say that always the power of the team is the essential, right? The power of the team. The investors are investing the team members. Of course, the product is important. Of course, the market potential is very important, but the people itself, is important. It's the same in the patent industry. The inventors are really important. So if we have a very powerful inventors in our team, it attracts all the partners, all the investors, all the other things. So the inventor power is really important. Eighth power is freedom to operate, which is always confused by the people, because the companies or institutions, startups, they always say that I have a patent, so there will be nothing bad in the market because I have a patent. But it's very wrong, because having a patent is different. Infringing the other's patent is different. You can have 3, 4, 5 patents for your product, but the product that you are trying to sell have so many features or components, right? Maybe you are infringing others' patents by using their patented technology. If you are not aware of infringing the others, it can cause, by paying so much damage payments, or you can exit the country because you are infringing the patent, or you have to pay licensing fee to the patent owner. So the freedom to operate means that you have to be free to commercialize your product in a specific territory in terms of patent infringement. So you have to look at the existing patents of your competitors before your commercialization, before the launch of your product in the specific country. You have to detect your competitors. You have to understand which kind of patents they have. And then you have to understand to be sure that I am not infringing any of my competitors in that specific market. I checked all the patents, so I am 100% sure that we are not infringing anybody's patent in my product in terms of any components, any features. We are safe. Okay, now we are freedom to operate in that country. So if you can say that I am freedom, I have the freedom to operate, commercialize my product in that country, so you can go forward. But this is the one of the missing parts before commercialize any product in a specific market. So this freedom to operate is also asked by the government funding programs or the European Commission products, grant programs. For the EU, you know that EIC Accelerator is giving millions of euro as a grant. So EIC, European Innovation Council for the deep tech startups, deep tech companies, is also asking, please upload your freedom to operate report within your proposal to show me that you are not infringing anybody's patent. So it is also asked by the European Commission before granting money to you. So this is really important thing before launching your product. And the ninth one, patent valuation, is another power. So you have to understand what is the value of your patent before commercialize, before license your patent to others, before selling your patent to others, right? For example, imagine that you have a patent and one company is infringing your patent, or you detect a company to offer your patent to use. And the question is, how much money will you ask? How much money will you ask to sell your patent? Or how many percentage of royalty will you ask for your patent to license it? So this question is also very critical to understand the value of your patent, the financial value of your patent, right? There's another competency, there's another power that you have to know, that you have to have a knowledge about that. Okay, you defined your royalty, or you defined the financial value of your patent to sell or license. So what is your licensing strategy if you are trying to license your patent? You defined that after the patent valuation study, you understand that 2% of royalty you can ask. Okay, but in which conditions? Are you giving this licensing as an exclusive or non-exclusive? You know, are you asking to sub-license rights? There are hundreds of options in a licensing agreement that you need to be care, right? That's why having a knowledge about the licensing as a strategy has another power as a patent owner for you. And the ninth one is, consisting all of other powers into a kind of written policy within your organization. If you're a startup or SME or corporate or institution, you have to have a kind of intellectual property management policy, in-house policy, in order to manage your assets strategically, because it's because this IP process is dependent to law and regulations in the specific countries, right? You are in Germany, we are in Germany now, and our IP management strategy is dependent to the partly dependent to the law and regulations, right? In terms of giving the rights to your employees if they are inventors in your patent application. So in order to manage this process from the invention disclosure to the successful patent commercialization process, you have to manage this process according to your own policy. It's a kind of innovation policy, but it's dedicated on intellectual property management. So all these powers must be managed within a written document based on your own strategy. So we can say that this policy, this intellectual property management, or we can say that patent portfolio management, it's starting from the creation, right? So once your individually or your team has an idea that can be powerful in the market and also patentable in terms of patent laws. So it's starting from IP creation, and then as a second step, you have to understand if it is worth to apply a patent. So it means that you have to make an evolution in terms of understanding this idea, this invention proposal has a product market fit in terms of the commercial value, or it is patentable or not. After this evolution, you are in the short phase to understand or to define your patent application strategy. Okay, you see that there is a product market fit, there is a patentable aspect in this invention. Let's file a patent application. And the question is, in which countries? What is the route of your patent application? You have to define this patent application process. After the patent application, around 1.5 years or 2 years, it will be granted. It will be granted by the authorities. And then you can commercialize your technology by producing your own product or by licensing or by selling your patent, whatever you want. So this commercialization side is the essential, because it's all about the creation, the monetization value in the market, right? So according to the European Patent Office, they released a document, they released a report, and they said that most of the patent owners are trying to license their patents for an exploitation. It means that to create a monetization value. So, okay, we have already known that the licensing is one of the important action that you can create monetization value. And of course, that another option is assignment, the selling patent, right? Maybe you remember that I have already talked that the difference between the licensing and assignment is all about you want to keep the ownership or not. If you are trying to assign, if you are trying to sell your patent, it means that you are selling, you are transferring your IP rights. So the owner of the IP rights is changing. So you are not the owner of the patent anymore because you sell it. You already sold that. But in the licensing is a kind of renting out. It's very similar to rent your apartment to other one. So the ownership still remains on your own hand. So that's the main difference. But in terms of license, if you are trying to commercialize your own patent strategically, you can licensing out your patent. But of course, as a company, you can license in from the others, from their patents. For example, one company can see that one of the startups' patent is valuable for their business, and then they can knock the door of the startups, and then they can say that, hey, startup, just give your patent as a license. We can license in your patent, and then we can use it as a corporate, and then we can pay you. So this is licensing in. But as a patent owner, if you are trying to licensing out, it means that you are giving the right of use to others. But of course, there are two main approaches to create monetization value from your patent by the licensing approach. One is the carrot licensing. The second one is the stick licensing. These are the names of approaching. The carrot licensing is the soft approach. You have a patent, and then you are asking your customer segments, hey, I have a patented technology. Would you like to use that? Because it is solving your blah, 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 these problems of your company. And then you are asking that. There is no mandatory, there is no obligation to use that. You are trying to give the value proposition of your patent that can be that can create or that can solve any critical problem of a company. So this is the carrot license. So you're just asking, you're just offering if you want to use that patent or not. But in the stick licensing, that's a tough way, because stick licensing means that you can detect any infringement of your patent. If you detect a company which is copying your patented technology, you can knock the door and say that stop or pay me the licensing fee. That's the stick licensing approach. So two approaches are really important on the licensing strategy. But of course, if you are choosing the carrot licensing, your patent must have a product market fit. Otherwise, you cannot find a client to use your patent, because there is no mandatory. So you have to understand the problems of your customers. You can create a new invention to solve this technical problem. You can protect this invention by a strong patent application, and then you can ask to this client to use your patent, because you are sure that your invention is creating a product market fit, because you have already validated this problem. If you are in this position, this carrot licensing approach can work. But this carrot licensing approach to create extra revenue in the market needs a strong patent or more than one patent. Because as I said, that this patent technology must create a product market fit in the market. Otherwise, there is no value. So in that position, I would like to give an example from my own existing experience. One patent that I will show you has a strong commercial value and has a strong protection value. So, but of course, before telling the story, that having a strong patent requires implementing a kind of process from the beginning. What is the beginning? To understand the technical problems in the market, right? To have the product market fit. So you have to identify key areas in your market as problems to be able to patent, right? You have to detect, you have to identify the problems to be solved, and then you will create an offer, you will create an invention to solve this technical problem, and then you will have a patent application. In order to do that, you need to conduct a very comprehensive competitive analysis in terms of patent landscape analysis. I will also show you how can you use the patent information strategically in the market to help your commercialization roadmap, right? It's all about searching the existing information, which is already published in the patent documents. So it's so important for strategic patent acquisition. Let's give the example that requires a strong patent in the market and also strong product market fit in the market to be successful. How many years ago? 12 years ago. When I was working in the university, 4 women inventors 4 women researchers come to me and said that we have an invention to solve the chronic wounds for the humans. What is this chronic wounds? Maybe you know that the diabetic patients, which is the late stages of diabetic patients, have very bad chronic open wounds in their legs or feet. And this is not great, there is no exact way to make a treatment of these chronic wounds. And the patients are suffering from these chronic wounds. And there is no actual products in the market to solve this problem. And there is a very good opportunity to have a product market fit, because the market need is very clear and there is no satisfying product in the market. And our researchers say that we invented a kind of organic material that can heal these chronic wounds very fast. And I said that, okay, you invented something, but did you try it in animals, in vitro, in the laboratory? And they said that, yes, we tried on the animals, and the test results are so exciting, so promising. And then we decided to apply a patent application. This is the roadmap of this journey from the patent application. So after the patent application, we tried to create a monetization value of this patent technology by licensing strategy, which means that we try to reach some of the pharmaceutical companies to show them, knock the door, and then we are showing that, hey, look at our invention is healing the wounds, chronic wounds for the human. And do you want to produce this patented technology? And then maybe we can have a strategical partnership in terms of the licensing agreement with you. And we knocked the door of lots of pharmaceutical companies in that stage, and all we rejected. And because the main reason is the companies are saying that, okay, the problem is obvious in the market, your solution is good, you have a patent application, but it is too early. It's very, very early stage technology. The companies say that you are only completed animal tests. What about the human tests? You have a long journey. You have to complete the human test to show the real effectiveness of this technology in the market on the humans. Okay, we said that it is quite difficult. And we didn't give up. And then we decided to participate in a kind of startup acceleration program, which is 2 days in Istanbul, which is organized by Texas University. And we just acted as a startup company, but we are not a startup team. I was a kind of technology transfer expert, and I take my one of the researcher lady from the team, and we applied, and then they accepted to be in the part of this kind of not acceleration program. It's a kind of competition, a startup competition, but we are not a startup. We are just having a patent and no clue about startup ecosystem. And we participated, and during those 2 days, these coaches and the trainers forced us to go out of the building and go out, ask to the pharmacies to understand if there is a real product market fit. Of course, it's very simple. So on, we tested the technology if there is a real meaningful product market fit. And then at the end of the program, we pitched to the jury members. And surprisingly, the jury members are coming from different countries, selected this technology as a winner. Very surprisingly. And our researcher, who is a university academician, was so excited. She said to me, oh, we have to start a company. We have to create the value of this patent by establishing a company. And then I said that, of course, you can do that. And I encouraged them to apply a kind of governmental funding program. And surprisingly, they granted with this governmental funding to establish their academic spin-off company. Okay, everything is going well. But after this establishment of academic spin-off company, they understood that it's a big boys game. It is quite impossible, very strong, very difficult to commercialize this technology by establishing their own manufacturing facility, by establishing their own marketing and sales team, blah, blah, blah. After 2 years of their establishment of their own spin-off company, we contacted with a kind of the biggest pharmaceutical company in Turkey. And they agreed to fund the human tests of this technology. And our researcher team has completed the human tests by the helping of this pharmaceutical company. And the results of human tests are really surprisingly, not surprisingly, obviously, are satisfying. And this academic research company will sell only one patent to this pharmaceutical company to produce this product that you can see in the right face. So this product is now in the market after 7 years of commercialization by only one strong patent, only one. So it means that if you have only one patent, it can also create a value in the market in terms of commercialization, in terms of licensing, in terms of patent selling. But of course, remember that I said 11 powers you have to have. Remember that one is the inventor power. So these 4 researchers are really powerful inventors because they have also power and competency to bring their technology from the lab to the market. So they take the actions. They took the actions to make it available in the market. But I said that another aspect, the strong patent, even it is one patent or not, one invention, one patent application. But why I am calling this patent strategically as a strong patent? Because we have already defined the critical market to protect this technology. And then we found the money to cover the cost of the patent application to protect this technology in 38 countries, including United States, including South Africa, including Spain, including Germany, including Canada, Brazil, Australia, which are all these countries as a market, target markets in terms of the number of diabetic patients. So this is the real critical factor that you have to understand how a strong patent can be, because this pharmaceutical company which purchased this patent says to us, if you don't protect this patent in such a important markets, we are not interested on buying this patent. So that's why your market segmentation strategy is very crucial. Your patent protection strategy is very crucial to increase the value of your patent. Otherwise, you cannot be successful on this journey. So how about enforcement value? When I said that that story was a carrot licensing, carrots commercialization, but how about the stick licensing? Imagine that you detect a company that copying you, so your patent giving you an enforcement right to enforce your patent to exclude this company in the market. So first task to identify competitors. If you want to create a monetization value by a stick licensing approach, you have to identify the competitors. And then you have to conduct a research to find the others that are doing the similar things. And you have to find out their product features, and then you need to compare with your patent document to demonstrate if there is any patent infringement. If you demonstrate patent infringement, it means that you can create a monetization by giving a licensing to this infringer company. So for this part, I understand that I talk too much, but of course, you are also interactive by answering my questions or commenting. I'm really happy that for your engagement. So maybe I can stop here for a while to ask you, if you don't mind, I want to continue without giving a break. Maybe you can also comment on the chat, because we will go forward on strategic use of patent information for now. So we discussed the strategic use of patents, and now we understand the whole perspective of creating the value from the patents in a strategic manner. And now, how can we extract the valuable information for our business from the patent documents, from the patent information? This is also a very critical aspect that you need to understand. So yeah, there is no comment or there is no objections. I can continue without giving a break. If you agree, Mario, Ute, I'm not sure, but I saw this sign. Christian,
Yes,
please continue.
sure.
Okay,
Continue.
all right. Thank you,
Fine.
thank you, thank you, thank you. So, by the way, this picture is created by DALL-E 3. I'm using the artificial intelligence tools like ChatGPT, DALL-E, and other useful tools to help to create, new ideas and also to be successful in the patent business. So that's why I'm a little bit crazy about using different AI tools for the last month. That's why I'm creating some pictures and some visuals by using the power of AI. And now, yes, we talked about the strategic use of patents, and now we can say that we also need strategic use of patent information by extracting valuable information from the patent documents. So it brings us to the patent searching. So patent searching is another business that all the R&D companies, all the startups, all the university technology transfer offices, and also corporates have to have this competency, this capacity of this talent is very crucial to be successful in the market. But in terms of the patent searching, we can say that there are 7 different patent search types, differentiated based on your purpose, based on your target. What are they? Based on your target, based on your purpose is the critical question, because all these 7 type of patent searching are a kind of patent searching. Trying to find out some patents from the database that might be useful for this purpose, that purpose, this purpose. So the first one is the patentability search. What does it mean? You have an idea, you have an invention proposal, but you don't know if it is patentable or not. So what should we do? We need to understand, we need to discover your invention idea is patentable or not. So the patentability requires 3 main criteria. One is your invention proposal, your invention claim must be novel in the global. What does it mean? Your invention, the technical information in your invention shouldn't be disclosed in any platforms before your patent application. So you have to be sure that your invention idea is not being published by others in the research papers, in the internet, or in the patent documents. So you have to be sure that your invention idea is novel. And the second one is the inventive step. It means that your invention idea must need to be non-obvious. So it means that if your invention idea is easily detectable, easily understandable, and if it is easy to say that it's obvious by a person skilled in the art, so it means that you don't have any inventive step. So the Americans in the United States call it non-obviousness, and the Europeans say that inventive step. So the third one is a third criteria is the applicability in the industry. So your invention idea can be producible, can be useful as a product. So in terms of the existing production methodologies or in existing production capabilities in the current economy, it can be producible, it can be makeable. If you are offering the capture machine of the ghosts, so it is not producible because there is no ghosts. So it is also saying that your invention idea must align with the laws in terms of the thermodynamics laws or energy laws. So it must be compatible with the current laws. So the second searching type is patent landscape search. So it's also a very helpful patent search type to understand your own industry by searching some of the critical competitors' patents and to understand which technologies they are focusing on, or which technologies they have in their portfolio, which they are protecting by a patent application. So it's very helpful to understand your competitive advantage, competitive environment by looking these patents in your industry. So the third one is the patent trend search to identify which technology type is going to be a trend in the global economy. So in terms of, if you are looking for new materials for antimicrobial coating material, so you are trying to understand graphene as a material is going up as a number of patent application or going down. So it will be very helpful to look at the patent data to understand which sub-technology is growing up or growing down. Third one is freedom to operate. Maybe you remember from the 11 powers, freedom to operate is one of our powers that need to be cared before the product launch. So it's a kind of another patent search strategy to identify some of the patents that can be similar to your own components that you used in the product. So you have to identify some of the critical patents which are similar to your product, and then you need to navigate without infringing these patents. So this is freedom to operate, or another terminology is clearance search. Are you clear? Are you free to go forward for commercialization of your technology? The fifth one is the patent invalidity search. Sometimes you want to invalidate some of your competitors' patents. Maybe your competitor patent is excluding you to commercialize a patent because commercialize a product. Maybe you are infringing one of your competitors' patent. And in this case, you can go forward by searching some patents or searching some academic papers that can kill this competitor's patent. So it means that by finding some of the critical technical documents from the patent database or academic papers database to prove that your competitor's patent applied after the publishment of these technical documents, to invalidate this patent, to kill. So this is another searching type, to kill some of the patents. And the sixth one is the patent portfolio search. It is dedicated on one company's patent portfolio. For example, you are in the field of electrical vehicle, and you want to understand Tesla, which technologies is Tesla is focusing on, by looking specifically in their patent portfolio. Maybe you remember that Tesla has more than 700 patents, and then that's a kind of portfolio, and you have to dig in the Tesla's patent portfolio by searching only their patents. So it's a kind of patent portfolio search dedicated on understanding the power of one company's or one entity's technologies. And the last one is patent due diligence. It is mostly done by the investors before investing the startups, because the investors wants to see that the patent owned by the startups is strong or not, what is the situation of the legal situation of these patents, if it is worth to invest or not, if the startup is lying. Maybe startup says that it is granted, but after the due diligence, you can understand that it is not granted. Maybe it is not possible to grant because it doesn't, match with the patentability requirement. So this is specifically to understand the patent or patent group, to understand its power before any commercialization or before any investment procedures. So all these patent search types will create extracting valuable information from the market by only sitting on your chair, by drinking your coffee, by just looking on the free of charge databases, extracting this important information only from the patent documents, and you can understand the current environment in your industry. Or specifically, if you're trying to develop some new ideas for your R&D projects, you can simply search the existing solutions in the database. So you can simply read the patent PDF documents to understand how they are solving X problem by offering Q invention. So the first one is the patent documents are acting as a pool of problem solutions. So you can define the problems, and then you can define the solutions which are proposed in the current existing patent documents. You can understand what is the current state of the art, and then you can start to generate new ideas by looking the existing solutions, because your solution must be novel, your solution must be different. And this patent information can be used to understand the possible new products. You can also understand technology trends. You can also detect some possible partners. You can also detect some talented engineers, talented staff that can be also become a new member of your team. Or you don't need to manage your R&D facilities. You don't need to make the invention. You can only detect the valuable patents, and then you can license it from the others. Or as a last step, you can understand your industry as a white spaces. So you don't want to swim in the red oceans, right? You're always looking, find the blue oceans in our market. So the blue oceans means that in terms of patent density, you have to find out the blue oceans in your industry. We call it as a white spaces, which means that in the industry, you have to detect some of the sub-segments, some divisions that you can create product, but the patent density is very low. So you can feel yourself in a safe zone. So I want to give some some examples to understand what is the pool of problem solutions. So as I said, that millions of patent documents are available on your computer free of charge. So it means that there are lots of solved problems with the inventions which are dedicated in the patent documents. Of course, you can understand your competitors. What are the possible new products that will be launched in the market by my competitors? So look at this Apple. Of course, Apple is not our competitor, but look at this Apple VR Glow, Smart Glow, which you can find the technical details by checking the patent document. But you can say that it's so interesting. Apple's patent is describing a kind of VR-based glow. It's a smart glow, but Apple has no product in the market about glow, right? But now Apple is launching their VR glass, right? Vision Pro. And the Vision Pro maybe can be controllable by this VR glows. So what does it mean? That Apple can have a new product in the field of gloves. So this patent says that, okay, for now, Apple has no product about smart glow, but by looking of their existing patent applications, new patent applications, we can say that they can launch this kind of products. So it is all related about their existing VR, AR technology. But 2 years ago, also VR glass was not available for the Apple in the market. So in terms of the technology trends as a macro level, you can simply understand what is the technology trends in my field. So look at this graph. This graph is indicating the US patent applications filed between 2017 and 18, only 1 year. In the 1 year period, you can simply detect which sub-technologies are booming. You know, it's showing that, look at the picture, it's showing that genetic testing, including oligonucleotide something, I cannot pronounce it. This technology field has too much patent application between 2 years, between these years, 17 and 18. So the number of patent application in that field increased 250% only 1 year. So you understand that these technology subgroups are booming in 1 year period. So you can also segmentify your business or your product in according to these trends. Headhunting. I know that most of the people, most of the companies are not aware to use patents as a headhunting, because you know that in the patent papers, you can also detect the name of the inventors. So it means that by looking your competitor's patent document, you understand that you can easily understand the name of the inventors in that specific patent document. So it means that you can make a headhunting by looking this patent document, by identifying the experts, the inventors written in the patent document. So you can offer a job proposal for these inventors if you see that these brains are valuable or not. Another perspective is the licensing possibility. So what I said, that the companies are not obligated to do their own R&D facilities from scratch, from zero. For example, LG already licensed its patents in regard of robotic cleaning machines, because Miele doesn't want to infringe any patents of LG, and Miele wants to create a competitive advantage in the robotic cleaning robot field by acquiring some of the essential patents from the LG. So it means that you can secure yourself in the market by licensing the other patents. As a last step, I can say that white spaces in your field, to identify the white spaces in your field, is also critical because finding the technology trends is also critical, but also finding the less patented areas to be safe in the industry is also critical. So this is the switch products, and it includes lots of sensor types in it. So if you're trying to start a sensor business, so you should understand which sensor type has a product market fit, of course, as a market perspective. Also, you need to understand which sensor types have less patents in that field. So you can feel that safe to start to produce or to develop these kind of sensors, because you know that the patent numbers are really low in the pressure sensor, in the acupressure sensor, or image sensor by looking at the numbers. But of course, yeah, we see that there are lots of possibilities to extract valuable information from the patents. But how? How can we do that? Which databases should we use as a free of charge? So how can I find out this information? In order to run this process, I need to understand the bibliographic data, which is written in the patent documents. So it means that if you are looking at a patent document, it requires, it's holding the patent applicant number, name, inventor name, application date, publication date, grant date, citations, blah, 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 blah. There are lots of good information that I can extract from a patent document. It means that from the millions of patents in the database, I can search applicant name. For example, I can search Sony. I can understand, I can find out the hundreds and thousands of patents applied by Sony. I can type the inventor name, which means that I can simply find the patents which the Steve Jobs is named as an inventor. IPC and CPC classification, which is also indicated the technology segmentation of the patent documents. So this classification is the largest technological classification in the world. So there are 250,000 classifications that can be searched. Too much. It's huge. So we call it as a IPC and CPC classification. And I will give you an example. Publication date. So it's simply you can only search the patents which are published in January of this year or the last month of 2023. You can search the patents by indicating the patent title or abstract. You can simply say that I want to find out the patents which title and abstract having graphene or antimicrobial coating or artificial intelligence. I want to just search this keyword combination in the patent title or abstract or description or claims. Or if you know the publication number of a single patent, you can just enter the number, application number, priority number. So these are maybe seems complicated, but you can easily adapt by searching the patent databases. And this is the basic structure of the patent bibliographic information that you will see from the databases. As you can see, that publication number, the title of the patent, and the applicant name of the patent. In that example is the Lilium GmbH from Munich, and inventor is Daniel Wiegand. And you can also see the indication of the country, DE, refers to Deutschland. And the classifications, you can see the strange numbers, which is indicating the technology, which is written in the patent. So it's given advantage to us, to you, to search the related patents easily. And the priority number, publication number, also published as. So by looking at the published as part, you can simply understand that the patent owner is trying to protect its invention in 2 countries. One is starting with DE, which refers to Deutschland, the Germany, and then the second one is starting with US, which refers to United States. So this company, Lilium GmbH, is foreseeing this, their projection is to protect their invention in Germany and United States, which means that they see their major markets are in the Germany and the United States in that time. So it's all aligned with their market strategy. So there are some databases that we can use free of charge to find out these patents and extract valuable information written in this patent documents. One is ESPASnet, the second one is WIPO Patent Scope, and the third one is Google Patents. All are free, but simply I am using the ESPASnet to search the patents because this is the largest data coverage in terms of the patent documents. It's having more than 140 million patent documents. So it's a huge power to see this kind of millions of patent documents by drinking your coffee. So it's very simple and very effective to search patents within this ESPASnet, within this patent scope, or you can simply use Google Patents. Google also have a special database only consists the patent documents. But before doing this patent search process, you have to understand some of the terminology in the patent field, because the keywords that are indicating the patents, their features, their functionality, are written differently. And that's why we call it as a patent jargon or patent terminology. So for example, if you are looking for the patents indicating the pencil, you are just writing as a keyword pencil. You're writing pencil, and you found hundreds of patents, but you are missing some of the important patents because the patent terminology is different. That's why if you are writing a keyword name indicating a component, you must think about the functionality of this component. For example, you are looking for a pen, but what is the functionality of the pen? Because pen is creating a benefit for writing, right? It's a kind of writing instrument. So there are thousands of patents are only indicating writing instrument instead of pen or pencil. So you are obligated to think about the functionality of the component, not limited with the keyword itself. So you need to think about the functionality. But it is still hard to identify all of the patents by only writing the keywords. For example, this is the flying car, very important topic, which is the Lilium GmbH is also trying to develop a flying car. For example, just you wrote a flying car to find out these patents, but the flying car is not enough to indicate the flying vehicles, flying automobiles. There are other keywords that you need to create synonyms, right? But it is not enough, because one patent filed by Toyota indicating aerocar as a keyword. So it is so complicated and so difficult to predict these different keywords to detect some critical patents. That's why we need to get advantage of using different tools that will be helpful for us to give some possible synonyms, some similar technical terms indicating the keyword that we are looking for. For example, you can use WIPO Pearl as a tool, free of charge. You can indicate your keyword. For example, we are looking for graphene, and I made some typing error, but it doesn't matter. So this system is giving a live dashboard, a concept map that is similar, that giving the keywords that are used in the existing patent documents, similar to graphene. So it is quite easy to, duplicate or offer new synonyms and similar technical terms indicating the graphene. But it is not enough. It is not enough. So we have to identify also the patent classification numbers to find all of the patents. The patent classification system is indicating different categories as a group, subgroup, subgroup, family, section, class, subclass, group, and subgroup, indicating very deep technology types with a specific numbers. For example, H01L27, indicating one technology. And you have to find out these numbers to find all of the patents. For example, you are looking for a nanotechnology related patents. So it means that you have to find out the classification symbol, which is B82, indicating all of the nanotechnology patents. So writing only the keyword indicating the nanotechnology is not enough. You have to find out this classification. Very simple example, finding a kind of pizza cutter device, which is manual used. So you have to identify the patent classification numbers, which is indicating this special device. So you have to search the pizza cutting devices, and then you have to indicate the specific classification symbol indicating manually operated hand cutting tools, especially for pizza cutters. It's very, very, very important to identify this classification. Let's give an example. How can we find the patents related to nanotechnology and additive manufacturing? Both together. We are looking for nanotechnology in additive manufacturing field. So we have to identify the classification code for nanotechnology, which is B82, and then we have to identify the classification code referring to additive manufacturing, which is starting with B33, but you can combine the classification codes and also the keywords combination to make the query. But it is not enough. As I said, that you have to use the keyword combination with the patent classification symbols together. That's why classification codes indicating the additive manufacturing are B33, Y, and B29, blah, blah. That means that on one side, we have the nanotechnology classification symbol, and the other side, we have the classification symbols defining the additive manufacturing. Of course, you can also try to understand which technologies are solving a challenge. What is the challenge? For example, in this case, challenge is reducing the weight in airplanes. In the airplane, reducing the weight is critical in terms of the cost reduction and efficiency. And nowadays, they are using composite materials in airframes. So by just looking on the patent classification, you can detect the exact classification, exact segmentation of the technologies. For example, starting with A02, which is aeronautics or air transport industry, and then you can simply select weight reduction. It is very simple. Weight reduction in air transport. So it will give you thousands of patents by only one click, indicating new technologies, which is dedicating on weight reduction in airplanes. Very good, very simple. But What are the other information that can be extract from the patent information? In the last 10 minutes, I will also give some examples, and then we can finish the webinar. But let me tell you just 5 or 6 examples how to find patent classifications easily by just entering the keywords. Just imagine that you are looking for graphene technologies. What are we doing now? Simply writing the graphene in the database, searching this graphene keyword in the patent title, abstract, or claims, as you can see here. And we have 180,000 patents. And we are simply opening the filter in the database and looking for CPC subgroups and searching these strange numbers and to understand which strange number is indicating the graphene. And then we can simply find out this CO8K is defining the graphene or graphene oxides. So I need to include this classification to make this result larger. And then I also noticed that this classification is also indicating the graphene. So as you can see that not on writing the keyword only is not enough. So we have to find out the patent classification by this strategy. How about the application fields of a specific patent? How can we find that? How can we find that? It's similar strategy that we can indicate different classification codes which are not defining the graphene. The same example, I wrote the graphene keyword and then select some of the classification codes, which is defining all the patents, 181,000 patents in the field of graphene material. But I want to understand which application fields are more trying to use the graphene. Is it the automotive? Is it the energy sector? Is it the healthcare sector? Which sectors, which application fields are looking for to use this material? So again, I can search these CPC groups and I can indicate these Y02, E60, blah, blah. What is that? It is indicating the energy storage using batteries. So which means that most of the graphene patents are dedicated on batteries. So, but it's not limited. There are other fields that the graphene is used. For example, in the hydrogen application, fuel cells. Also you can detect if the automotive industry or in the healthcare or chemicals, whatever you want to extract. So you can keep on searching to identify other application fields. So it will give you some of ideas, your technology, which specific fields, areas can be used. Or as a competitive advantage, you want to understand your competitors or your possible partners. You can also extract this information by just looking on the patent document. So let's continue on the same example, graphene. We have still 181,000 patents. And then we are just clicking on the applicants. And then you can see that there are lots of universities are having patent application in the field of graphene, including Samsung. If you can partner with specific universities to enhance your product, or you want to see only the competitors as a company, what can we do to exclude these universities? We can simply add some of other query indicators in the left side. By adding not, we can exclude the applicants, which is indicating the universities and in the institutions. So this result will only give us the companies that can be real competitors, which is Samsung, Boye, LG Chemical, the Ocean King, IBM, including IBM. IBM is very powerful in nanotechnology and graphene field. So we extract our competitors, excluding the universities, or you can exclude the companies, and you can only dedicate on the universities that you can, if you are looking for a partner, R&D partner for your company. Or headhunting. As you remember that the patent information can be also used for headhunting. So I want to find out the next Einstein easily to transfer from another company. Who are these next Einsteins? So understand to that, we have to look at the inventors. So we can see all the individual names which are named as inventor in specific patent applications. But you can imagine that, you can see that these are all Chinese names or Korean names, but we are living in Europe. I want to see the next Einsteins from Germany. How can I extract this information? By excluding the Chinese or Asian names, just clicking on the applicant country. I can simply apply a filter here by indicating DE, which means that Deutschland, Germany, and then I can understand, I can find out only the names of inventors from Germany. Klaus, Müllen, blah, blah, blah. Günter Ruhl, Martin Kochne. And also you can see that some of the Chinese or some of the Asian names are also written here, which means that we extracted the patent application applied from Germany, but they can have some Chinese or Korean inventors who are working in their company. So they named as an inventor. As a last part, I'm finishing. How can we see the peak in my industry? What is the peak point in terms of the highest patent application number? Which year is the highest year as a peak year in my technology? We can continue in the same example. We are looking for the graphene technologies by analyzing the year that the patent application in the graphene industry, graphene field, which year is the peak. You can understand from the red line, which we can see that the increase has been started 2011 and reached the peak in 2021 or 2023, and then every peak has to be decline, and started to decline in the last year. So we have already passed the peak, but it doesn't mean that the peak will become, and the second peak can be happen in the upcoming years. But we have already seen the peak. How about the important markets in the graphene technology? So you are a startup company, you are a SME or corporate, which is developing graphene technology, and you are trying to commercialize this technology in different markets, but you are not sure which important markets are important for you, right? So it is also simple to take this information by selecting the countries which all these patent applicants are trying to protect their patents in that countries. So simply click on the countries and see that which countries are attracting more patent applications. So the China is the first, US is the second, WO is the patent application, international patent application system, skip it, Korea, Japan, European patent, Taiwan, and Canada. Taiwan can be maybe it's because of the semiconductor companies and the Canada. And we cannot see that Germany is here. Maybe Germany is in the outer top 10. So as a last points, what I said as a provocative statement, patents have no financial value until you take the action. So now you know how you can understand strategic use of patents. And also in the last part, you know that strategic use of patent information to take your actions, right? To create the value from your patent. So these are the my inputs for you during this session. So I think that we exceeded 2 minutes in the foreseen timeline of this webinar. So you can simply listen my podcast session as well in Spotify if you are curious about the details of patent strategies. Publishing English and Turkish podcast in the Spotify. So we talked about lots of subtopics related with the patents. And last week we recently published why is the freedom to operate important for startups before launching their product in different countries. So I had a special guest from United States, and we talked Charles Brumling together to give this importance to the audience. So as I said from the beginning, we are trying to build a patent valuation platform, which makes it 10 times easier, 10 times cheaper and reliable. And if you're curious about the patent valuation of your patent or patents, you can simply visit our website, and then you can ask to join the pilot user group that we will share our early beta version to try. And you can simply ask, so you can, if you are accepted to be in the pilot user group, we can give you a chance to try one patent valuation by using our platform free of charge, so you can test it when it is ready. If you're also curious about the valuation, I'm giving my next webinar about dedicated on patent valuation on the 15th of February. So you can simply register free of charge again, patentive.com/webinar. Don't forget to join us. We have now more than 60 registrations so far. It's going well. And you are also welcome to join us to listen about some critical aspects of patent valuation.